Is this bacon in here?
Yes, bacon.
10 out of 10.
Natasha, Gregory Rodriguez, Yasmin, Luis Lopez, Tina, and Simone Francis.
Hi everyone, I'm Tina. I'm one of the brand ambassadors and also one of your hosts for today. Today we have Simone Francis, who's going to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Simone Francis. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the Assistant Director for Student Services at OP. And essentially I lead all of the community impact initiatives in the space. And so all of our wonderful programming, supervising our ambassador program, in addition to our service initiatives, all of our travel, immersion experiences, and leadership development. All of those things fall within my portfolio in addition to communications and social media.
How many years have you been working in this role?
I've been here for 4 years. So I came right at the crux of COVID.
So we're going to be having our mukbang, which is our food from Top Thai. Why did you choose Thai food?
It's just very homey. I did live in China for a few years, and so I loved being able to experience and try different foods from the region, and Thai is definitely one of my favorites. And I also think that it allows for just the flavors. It connects to a lot of different cultures, and so that is what I really appreciate about Thai food.
Let's dig in. My bad. What dish do we have? Did you have with you today? Actually?
Yeah, so I chose the pad see ew with shrimp. I am pescatarian, so I eat a lot of seafood, or vegetarian.
I see. That's cool. I have, I believe, it said there was a golden cashew nut dish. Okay. It was, I thought it had rice with it, but I guess it doesn't. But it still looks really good. So
I feel like the rice was supposed to come on the side.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
I think it will still be delicious.
Yes. Yeah. Dig in.
Awesome.
It's good.
Top Thai is definitely one of my favorite spots around campus.
Yeah, it's really close. Like 10 minutes walk, which is really nice. That's why I also go to Top Thai really often as well. What has your experience in your role at OP been like?
It's pretty dynamic. I do a lot of different things, and so I feel like I'm often running from thing to thing and kind of using all parts of my brain at all times, but overall it's very rewarding. I get to have the face-to-face interactions with students, develop really deep connections with students as well. I mean, we have a lot of them. So there's around 875 generally students within the OP program from year to year, and so I'm glad that I get to develop relationships with the smaller pocket.
What drew you to becoming more involved in OP in a professional capacity?
So I was an OP student when I went to undergrad here at NYU. I graduated from College of Arts and Sciences. I did a biology degree. And OP was one of the communities that I leaned on during my time in undergrad. So it feels very full circle to come back and support in a professional capacity. I think my career and the ways in which I have done work within equity programs, and most of the roles that I've had before have been institutional, so doing work that supports the institution at large. And so this one, I think this role is unique in that I specifically get to work with the population of students that I love, and so being able to support first generation low income students on a daily basis, it's just very meaningful, and I think that impact really contributes to the NYU landscape at large. And so knowing that I get to be a part of that is quite fulfilling, and I think it's also a privilege as well. I love NYU. I was a student here. I'm a current student here in a grad program. I've worked at NYU Shanghai, so I feel like I've touched different capacities of the NYU landscape, and I think it's been a great journey so far.
I never actually knew that you worked at NYU Shanghai for a bit. How was that experience like?
It was great. Went there to do diversity work right after undergrad. So I was there from 2015 to 2017. And I learned a lot. It was part of my professional growth in addition to who I am as a person today. I think, putting yourself out there and moving to a country you don't speak the language, you don't know anyone, it can be very daunting, but I think so rewarding in the fact that I learned a lot about who I was, what my needs were, what I wanted in life, kind of, moving through and understanding my purpose. And so that kind of provided a very solid foundation for how I even approach the work that I do today. And then being able to bring my mom over there before I left, and like a couple friends. So it also felt like I was able to change the story a little bit for my family in terms of being able to travel. That's not something that we do often, and so that was a very specific moment of being able to bring my mom over and show her China and speak the language and like take her around and have a local experience was amazing for me.
Well, why do you think it's important to know about like OP's history?
I think it's important because recognizing that these types of programs came out of the time of civil rights. And even Arthur Eve, the founder of the HEOP program, was able to really push for and advocate for this type of program while he was an assembly member. And I think oftentimes it gets lost of how these programs came to be, the work that it took to get here, and then also in our current time, recognizing that these programs don't, they are not default. They have to be fought for. And so I think recognizing the legacy and being able to honor the legacy and the folks who have came before us to make sure that these types of programs exist, it's important to not disconnect from those roots. And it helps us also recognize that we have to keep working very hard to make sure that these types of programs exist. And even if it's not the program itself, the work continues. And I think today more than ever we can see why that is so important.
Why should it mean a lot to them?
Beyond the financial support that OP provides, and that is big, there's also so much support that students are offered within our program because of the resources that we have access to. And so OP programs are funded by the state, but we are the largest program in the state because of the support that we get from the institution. So NYU is very committed to making sure that we have the resources that we need. And so students here within the OP program get way more than other students in other programs because most of their money is going towards their tuition. Whereas here, we're able to get that support from the institution. And so we're able to just do so much things. And I think oftentimes students can take that for granted and not recognizing that, again, this is not something that has to exist. It can go away in the snap of a finger. And we are truly blessed to have the resources that we do. And so even to have a full academic team who is supporting instruction, to have a full counseling team, and students are able to have those one-on-one conversations, all of the programs that we do, being able to support travel. I mean, there's just so much opportunity. And I think at times it can get lost of this is not the norm.
Do you have a specific memory from your time with OP that means a lot to you?
One is the ambassador program. Building out this program has been a joy. It's a lot of work. But it truly is unique. I have created this program to be a leadership development opportunity that I'm thinking about students beyond this space, beyond this NYU bubble of how do they prepare for their lives as career-oriented people, and doing it from a very humanistic, holistic approach. And so I'm very happy for just the time, the effort, the energy that the ambassadors bring to the program, and also being the one that gets to, do the fun stuff and support them. I've been very intentional that the program, the students who are working within it are going from ideation all the way up to execution. This podcast is one of those projects. And so just to see how it's grown over the years is truly like, it's one of my proudest babies that I have. And then also cultural immersion, being able to bring students to international spaces for the past 2 years. So the first year I did Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and Ras Al Khaimah, exploring the UAE. And then last year, or this January, we did Ghana, and we did Accra, Kumasi, and the Cape Coast. And I think those 2 trips have just been really profound in being able to bring students into other spaces who have not necessarily had the opportunities to travel in traditional ways. And just I think the way in which those programs have been curated and seeing students work on projects and really get to process their experience and connect those experiences to like who they want to be as leaders and people in this world. I'm also very proud of that. So being able to share those experiences with students, like yes, I'm building these opportunities, but I also get to intimately like be a part of it with students. I think those are my favorite memories by far.
What is something particularly memorable from your time in undergrad?
I love graduations so much. So honestly, it was OP grad for me. I think graduations for me are just like such a huge accomplishment, particularly within our communities, of really being able to look back and see like, what did I do, and celebrating that journey. And so I remember OP grad, I remember getting, like, my friends brought me a Build-A-Bear. I still have it to this day, 10 years later. And so, yeah, it was just very heartwarming, and then connecting to like who I am today, getting to plan the graduations for the students. And so, yeah, I remember that graduation ceremony very vividly, and just being very proud and very emotional about being able to finish in, you know, the community that I built, all the opportunities that I took part of. Like, it kind of just like you reflect on it and you kind of see it flash before your eyes a little bit. And that I think is like a very culminating moment for me that I remember from my OP experience.
What makes OP really unique to you?
Uniqueness is really the access that we have to resources, but I think with that, we do a great job to utilize those resources in a very meaningful way.
What advice do you have for students?
Be an active participant in your life. Life is long, but it's also very short. And college years, they fly by. I think one of the hardest things is to like watch students not take advantage of all that is in front of them, not recognizing that the world is harsh. Like, you know, I know the desire to do the adulting thing and like get out and be on your own is so strong, but it's rough out here. It's rough to leave the bubble. And so I think to just take advantage and to be able to think about who you want to be in this world, like what is the type of person that you want to be, and how do you want to, like, what's your legacy, what do you want to leave behind, and to then live your life trying to cultivate that, and not in specific like you need to know exactly what you want to do as a position or anything like that. It's just more so living in a way that allows you can look back and say that you did everything that you wanted to do that aligned with that purpose that you're trying to find, and you took advantage of what was in front of you at every single moment. And I think that will allow for more students to not only do the things that they're proud of, but do it for themselves and not for their family, for their friends, like really living in their own truth.
That was actually our last question, so we can feel free to like indulge in the food now.
Okay, fantastic.
So, cool. We can stop.